All right, for this evening's Accent on Academics, Bethel Manor Elementary School will present Number Talks in Kindergarten. Bethel Manor staff and students will highlight the components of number talks as seen in a kindergarten classroom. Through this program, students learn to make sense of numerical relationships through observations, hands-on manipulatives, and conversations. To share more about this presentation and introduce the students and other presenters is Dr. David Wrights, Bethel Manor Elementary School Principal. Dr. Wrights.
Thank you and good evening, Madam Chair, school board members, and Dr. Shandor. Thank you for providing this opportunity to present to the board and community this evening. My name is David Wrights. I serve as the principal at Bethel Manor Elementary School, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you Christy Pica, who will give you an overview of number talks in the county, and Kendra Mason, who will give you a glimpse of number talks in a kindergarten classroom.
Good evening. Good evening. I am Christy Pica, and I'm the coordinator for Mathematics K-12 for the division. I'd like to thank the Bethel Manor team for allowing me a few moments to share a brief definition of number talks and the history of number talks in our division. Number talks are brief but purposeful and powerful classroom discussions centered on computational problems that are solved mentally. A group of 35-plus K-2 teachers and administrators were trained in June of 2016. Through this training, each elementary school received copies of Number Talks by Sherry Parrish with the accompanying DVD that could then be utilized by their grade level teams to continue learning about how to implement Number Talks in the classroom. I am pleased that we will be able to continue to offer Number Talks this year as an optional summer PD, and then embed this powerful training into August in year-long curriculum training at the elementary school level for all K-5 teachers. As a division, we have purchased additional number talk books focusing on fractions, decimals, and percentages for each building. At this time, I'd really like to turn it over to Kendra Mason, kindergarten teacher extraordinaire for Bethel Manor, so she can share with you her class's story for number talks.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Shandor. Thank you for this opportunity to share our journey with Number Talks. You might ask, why should teachers start Number Talks in kindergarten? First, implementing Number Talks builds number sense. Students begin to understand relationships between numbers. For example, students can find different ways to make the same number. They also begin to recognize patterns like counting by 5s and 10s and then by 2s and 3s. An important component of Number Talks is that students verbalize their thinking and share their own strategies for solving problems. Number Talks helps build fluency. Students can look at sets of objects without having to count each one. Instead, they recognize easily identifiable groupings and then combine the values. This skill transfers to a speedy mastery of addition and then subtraction facts. Number Talks has created a math community where it is safe to take risks. Mistakes are not viewed negatively, but are merely opportunities for further learning. Number Talks is differentiated. It allows for flexible thinking and for students to learn at their own pace. Some students will still be counting with one-to-one correspondence. In this example with our whiteboard there and the 10 frame, in this example, a student could count every dot. Another student will look for patterns in the sets, counting by 5s to get to 15 and then counting on 2 more. Still others will be ready to subtract from the set in their head, starting with 20 and subtracting by 3. Teachers are often concerned about adding one more thing to their already busy schedule. Number Talks can be planned for just 5 to 15 minutes. I have built it into my own schedule for 10 minutes 3 times a week. The lessons build on each other. We literally started with different ways to make 3, and then 4, and then 5. The activities follow a purposeful progression to guide students to focus on a particular mathematical relationship. Here are some of the tools that are used throughout Number Talks. You will hear me refer to dot cards, 10 frames, and Reck and Recs. We also frequently use dice, dominoes, and whiteboards. 3 of my students are here tonight to show you some of those examples. Kamira has dot cards, and you'll see in our presentation how we use those. Isaac is holding our 10 frame. We were just working with that today. And then Lillian is holding our Rec and Rec, and you'll see examples of how we use those as well. All right, thank you. Here are excerpts from a lesson using a class 10 frame. Okay, heads up. Riley, how many are there?
15.
Come on up here and tell us how you got 15.
I did 5, 10, 15.
Can we do that with our hands? Ready? Oh, I have a few friends who aren't ready. Chase, ready? 5, 10, 15. Drayden, do you have a different way? All right, come on up.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
If you did it that way, give 2 thumbs up. Some friends knew there was 10 and then they counted on. Nice job. With our dot card lessons, students are excited to show different ways to make the same number. All right, you said you saw 10. How did you see them? Did you look for that square in the middle? And how many is that square?
4,
4. And then tell me what you did next.
3, and 3.
What's 3 and 3?
6.
So you had 6 out here and 4 in the middle, and you knew that was what?
10.
10. All right, come on around this way. How did you see it? Aubrey?
I saw it,
Oh, okay. All right, so you did like kind of a top shelf. How many are on the top shelf?
4,
And how many are on the bottom shelf?
4,
And then there's how many that were left?
2,
2. So let me ask you first, what's 4 and 4?
8,
Oh, and I kind of saw you were thinking, what were you thinking in your brain to figure that out? What were you counting by?
2,
I like that. So you went 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 2 more is what? 8, 9, 10. There you go.
3, 6,
Okay, so you looked for those
8.
3. So you went for those 3s first, and you went 3, 6.
and then 2 2s.
Okay, so I had 3, 6. What comes after 6 then? 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Students have learned to use patterns like counting by 5s. All right, so Kamira, with our Rec and Rec, can you show us the number 10? How did you get that so quickly? Did you count every bead? What were you thinking?
I just did 5, 10.
Although she showed 5 plus 5, another student might have shown 10 plus 0 or 9 plus 1. Students are able to use more than one strategy. In number talk, students strive to find the quickest way to arrive at an amount. Can you show me the number 12? All right, and cover up what you don't want us to see. All right, so how do you know that's 12? Did you count every bead? Well, how do you know then?
I got 10, 11, 12. I just got 2 red and 10 beads.
Wow,
10 blue beads.
nice. We have added several activities that build fluency and have proven to be very engaging. Students love the game show feel of Quizdom, where each student gets to enter their answer on their own remote. They cheer when we pull up a fluency and fitness slideshow because they know they are going to exercise after every few slides. 2 years ago, before I started Number Talks, I noticed during math games that most students were having to count each dot on the die. Now, all of my students can instantly recognize and name the value of any side they roll. This has progressed to recognizing values of sets and doing mental math in addition and subtraction problems. One student had laid out objects for the addition problem, 2 plus 4 is 6. But then she said to me, I can just move one frog over to the fish, and I can do 3 and 3 in my head to get 6. Another student rolled 2 dice when we were practicing the counting on strategy, and he said, I don't need to count them, double 4s are 8. Here's another example where a student was naturally able to use math to solve an unfamiliar problem. I was reading, and at a point in the story, there are 12 cookie pieces and 4 animals that are trying to figure out how to share. One of my kindergarten students' eyes popped open wide, and I could tell that he had figured it out in his brain. He raised his hand and said, you can give each character 3 pieces. Hopefully, these examples have shown you the significant growth that can occur in a student's number sense when a Number Talks program is implemented in the classroom. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. We feel Number Talks is a vital addition to our math program. Thank you.